There was an upsurge of communitarian societies in the 1840s because all the people involved were on a quest for a perfect society. They were groups of people who wanted to create a new type of social movement that would be based on a perfect society, and they withdrew themselves from the main society. People wanted more communal societies and equal rights for their people.
In 18th century Germany, there was a religious movement called Pietism. Eberhard L. Gruber and Johann F. Rock started the Community of True Inspiration. It focused on reflection, prayer, and Bible study. The Community of True Inspiration began meeting in 1714. They settled in central Germany, but they were persecuted for their beliefs. They started looking for a new home because of the economic hardship and persecution. This group was organized because they were dissatisfied with the rituals and intellectualism of the Lutheran Church. They rebelled and became the Inspirationalists because of the Pietist movement and the mysticism movement in Germany. The Pietist and mysticist movements started the move to the Amana Colonies. The radical Pietists believed that prophets still existed.
Christian Metz led them to find religious freedom in America. They left Germany in 1843 to 1844. Community members put together their money and bought 5,000 acres near Buffalo, New York. They called it the Ebenezer Society, and they worked hard together and shared their property. The community was now over 1,200 people, but they needed more farmland for their growing community.
They looked to Iowa because there was good priced land. They moved there in 1855 and settled in the valley on the Iowa River because it had fertile soil, stone, wood, and water to build a new community. In the Amana Colonies, there were 6 villages that were a mile or 2 apart. They were across a river valley tract of some 25,000 acres. They include Amana, East Amana, West Amana, South Amana, High Amana, and Middle Amana. Homestead was added in 1861 to access the railroad.
They had roots in the movements of Pietism and mysticism. They separated and rebelled from the Lutheran Church because they did not believe that they focused on the Bible as much as they should. They formed the Community of True Inspiration and believed that God still worked and spoke through his followers, as he did with the prophets of the Old Testament. Religious life was a strong unifying factor for them. They had a communal way of life, and they emphasized humility. They believed in Jesus Christ and the Bible very thoroughly. God uses people as his tools, like in the Old Testament. They believe in a simple life, and they named their community Amana because it means to remain true, from the Book of Solomon.
The 24 Rules of the Inspirationalists are the most important revelation of the Holy Spirit through Johann Adam Gruber. This community was accepted and received into God's gracious covenant. The 24 rules remain the basis of the faith of the community and are indeed the foundation upon which the whole edifice is erected. Number 1. To remove all idols, whether crude or subtle, from your hearts, so that they no longer mislead you into further idolatry against your God. Number 2. I desire that you no longer have any association with the fruitless deeds of darkness, neither with crude sins and sinners, nor with the subtle sins, within and without you. Number 3. You shall conduct yourselves so that those without shall find no cause for slander against you, thereby desecrating my name. But most of all, avoid associations which hinder your growth toward godliness. Avoid and have no close association with mockers, slanderers, and those who extol vanity. Number 4. In your earthly tasks, you are to work ever longer and more according to your conscience. I am the Lord your God, who can and will provide for your in accordance with your bodily needs.
Number 5, I admonish you to refrain from all falseness, lying, and hypocrisy. For verily I say to you that I will give unto my servant the elder the gift of discernment, and reveal it to you through him, and also through the prophecy of my Spirit. Number 6, the congregation shall strive for and aspire toward talents, and then when I indeed give to this or that member a special talent at prayer, or else the gift of wisdom, you shall not be envious. Number 7, henceforth put aside all malice held deep within your hearts toward one another. No one is free from it. Behold, I will ask the Spirit of my love to stand in your midst wherever you are assembled in true and simple prayer. You must be willing to accept physical and spiritual suffering. So it is therefore pleasing to me and absolutely necessary to you that you be tested through constant suffering, sorrow, and tribulation.
Number 9. Pay no heed to feeling of suspicion or mistrust, and take no offense to one another. Each individual shall seek to become a mirror for the other. All of you shall daily and hourly strive to stand as one before the Lord. Number 10, become more devoted toward achieving both an outer and inner calm. Number 11, behold, my people, I shall make a covenant with you on this day, which I bid that you keep sacred and true. I will wander among you daily and visit your place of rest to see how you are disposed toward me. Number 12, I, the Lord, say guard yourself against disrespect of this covenant and against negligence, idleness, and laziness, which generally been your master and the ruler of your heart in the past. Behold, I accept you this day as slaves of my love, as freeborn of my kingdom, as possessors of my heart. Gladly and willingly allow yourselves to be bound with ties of my love, so that you shall never be without power of that love.
Number 13. And you who are the heads of fathers of households, hear what I say unto you. The Lord has selected you as members of his community, with whom he will daily associate and among whom he will wander. So see that you conduct yourselves as leaders, but as leaders submissive at all times to the true sovereign, your king. Number 14. Your children, you who have any, you shall with all your strength endeavor to lead and dedicate unto me. If only you keep spiritually close to me, I will give you wisdom, valor, understanding, courage, and sincerity mingled with love in such abundance as to enable you to live before them with all respect toward God, so that your training of them shall be blessed.
The Inspirationalists had some ideas in common with the Transcendentalists. For example, the Transcendentalists believe in the good of humanity and that utopias could happen. The Inspirationalists believed that community and sharing everything within their community was important. They created the Amanas and were able to have a successful communal society for 89 years.
In the Amana Colonies, the people received a home, medical care, meals, all household necessities, and schooling for their children. In the town, there were woolen mills, fabric printing, farming, clockmaking, brewing, and no one received a wage because property and resources were shared. They attended worship services 11 times a week. There were over 50 communal kitchens run by women of the colony and supplied by the community and provided for their 3 meals each day. Men and women ate at separate tables. Kids had school 6 days a week, year-round, until the age of 14. They woke up before dawn. Boys had jobs on the farm or in craft shops. Girls worked in the communal kitchen or garden. A few boys were sent to college to become teachers, doctors, and dentists for the colony.
In 1932, during the Great Depression, the colony set aside communal way of life because they had a strong desire to maintain their community. Communal way of life was seen as a barrier to achieving individual goals. They changed instead of leaving the community or having their kids leave. The Amana Society, Inc. was created to share their profits and manage the farmland, mills, and larger enterprises. The Amana Church was still kept.
The Amana Colonies would become one of America's longest-lived and largest religious communal societies, and it became a National Historic Landmark in 1965.
Hundreds of thousands of visitors come to the Amanas each year. The woolen mills, clock shop, furniture shop, bakery, chocolate shop, winery, restaurants are really interesting to visit. The food is really good. There is even a golf course located by High and Middle Amana. Wink, wink, Mr. Flanagan.
They have a reputation for high-quality goods and products. Their refrigerators, stoves, microwaves, dishwashers, and other appliances have been very popular. They were bought out by Maytag in 2001, and then Whirlpool bought Maytag in 2006. We hope you enjoyed our presentation and learned more about the Amana Colonies. Thank you very much for watching.